Hey, what's up, guys? All right, we're back for round two. Straightened out some technical difficulties we had. Our ace computer expert, Justin, is not here today, so I'm doing the best I can to fill in, but it just shows you how much we appreciate Justin and how much he does. So
it's like two hamsters on a computer right now, but that's okay.
That's right.
So round one, that was definitely a fun matchup.
So double crime lord, that's what I was hoping for. So now it looks like we're going to see one of the more popular decks since Empire's come out. We're going to see eEzra. And
yes. One of my favorites starting out for a little bit that Chris has there, eEzra. I'll be interested to see if he's trying for a running interference loop or if he's playing the more legit version that gets out 10 damage in a turn. So,
the funny thing with Chris is he actually learned to play about 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. And he actually borrowed borrowed a Palpatine deck from me to play in the tournament.
Yeah.
So, and I was kind of giving him a hard time just a minute ago. I'm like, I see how you are. You learn how to play, and 3 weeks later you show up with eEzra. That's how you're going to do this. So,
yep. Hey, like you said earlier, I mean, whether it's tier 1, tier 2, the only way you learn to play is by playing. And one comment I am going to make about someone bringing something like this. Sure, the person on the other side might have the negative play experience. They might be upset about that. But this is all part of learning. If you don't go online, in my opinion, that's how I learned. I looked at those really good decks online, saw how they played them, and played around with them a bit. But if you don't do that, it's hard for you to get a grasp about what the good card combinations are, what kind of the thought process behind the game is, because we have several hundred cards, and if you try to build something yourself without any guidance, it can be tough.
Yeah.
Especially for someone that's only been playing for 3 weeks.
And you got to keep in mind, too, with a limited card pool, you're going to see the same decks. You're not. You're more than likely not going to come up with an original deck.
Oh, yes, of course.
You might not be net decking, as they say. But it was one of the things, like the first thing I tried to do after the 2-player starter came out was do new 2-player Kylo 9s.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't net deck that, but obviously, that deck was already up on Star Wars Destiny Deck Builder, stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't really judge people for that. And the biggest thing, like me and Justin reiterate all the time, is play what you like to play.
That's right.
You know, people can judge. We've actually had that kind of going around a little bit, of, well, it'll just be Poe Maz and eEzra and Kylo 9s or at box tournaments. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a box tournament.
Yeah, you're playing for a box.
You're winning a product, that's
take your
happen,
tier 1s. Yeah.
But play what you like to play. And that's what this game is about. Don't ever lose sight of why you play this game. You don't play this game to be number 1 in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting $1 million contract to
play this game because you're a Star Wars nerd.
That's right.
I'm a Star Wars nerd.
That's right.
We love playing Star Wars, and we get to play a card game with it. So play what you love to play, man. And there's that first turn running interference. So.
Yeah, looks like they chose Chris chose his own battlefield. Then we got 2 shields over.
Is that Moisture Farm?
Yeah, Moisture Farm over there, which is I like that pick here on eSabine because every time I've played with her, I've struggled with resources. Having that Moisture Farm is good. I do prefer having the Starship Graveyard in case, so you can get the second chance loop. But if you're really trying to hit out the aggro quickly, having that extra resource isn't bad. So,
yeah, and it looks like I believe Chris just played Smuggling, I believe.
Yes.
And got up to his 3 resources for that DL44 he's holding in his hand. So if he draws his second DL44, we're about to see silly Sabine.
Yes, some silly loops going through there where almost every turn that's just 1 die gone. Now, it is somewhat helpful that Desmond does have Maz out there, maybe to help get dies out more quickly. Resolve them, get that a little bit of action cheating. However, Sabine, that's...
I don't know. You still have to roll out Mace first. And so I think in response, Chris just as soon as you roll out Mace, then he just activates
Yeah,
Sabine.
you just
remove
do that.
both your Mace die, and
then
I don't
play
care
that
what
DL44 on there.
I don't care what Maz rolls.
And here it goes.
Yep.
Yes.
So now I did play against this against a Mace Maz deck yesterday in a little tournament I went to. That combination can be scary.
That's a lot of damage.
If you think Po Maz can be scary, which Po Maz is a little more consistent because you're getting a 2-dice Maz.
Yes.
That if you can get Maz to go off, you can get a goggles on her. Mace rolling to 4 or even 8 damage if you have the resources is really scary.
Yeah, it's a heavy hit. Now, one interesting thing I just noticed here is smuggling was played. Sabine can pull the upgrade from the discard pile. So if we had played the DL44 into the discard, Sabine could have activated, got that extra ambush, and prevented the mitigation there. Now, luckily, nothing was mitigated, but that was something to think about with Sabine, is pulling things, especially because I see smuggling played so often. That first turn, if you can get rid of one of your cards, put it in the discard pile, you can put it on her and protect your dice for that first round because of the ambush action.
Right, and that's really synergistic with Sabine, especially a first turn smuggling. If you can drop a thermal paint first turn with smuggling, you're getting a third resource. You're getting a discount when you play thermal on Sabine.
Yes.
So, that smuggling pairs really well with Sabine's ability.
Mm-hmm. So here comes out Infamous, and he's putting a running interference on there. Does he have a no? He used that resource to play the Infamous.
Right.
Because I see that 3-for-1 disrupt there, which is pretty good to have on the board right now, considering see what Desmond has.
And especially against Mace. Playing against that Mace Maz combo yesterday, I was really felt good every time I could disrupt one of the resources, because they usually try to drop an upgrade, leave one resource if they hit that 4-for-1 on Mace. So hitting that last resource really felt good.
Oh, and there we go. That was a very good play on Desmond. Instead of having him re-roll any of the resources, which couldn't matter, was re-rolling. Now, I'm not sure that hurts him right there as much as that 3 disrupt would have.
Yeah.
So that was actually a really good play, I believe.
I think if you're... I don't know what he's building up resources for.
Master of the Council, any of those heavy-hitting lightsabers out there. But one thing I know is that is a resource-starved deck. So...
Right, and it looks like he has a My Allies the Force in his hand. Desmond does.
Yeah, it looks like they're going over the
Mace ability.
The Mace ability right here.
Yeah, and I actually had to remind the guy I was playing with yesterday about Mace's ability. It wouldn't have won in the game, but he was actually overlooking Mace's ability. I told against in another round, he was playing somebody after the round. I told him, was like, you shouldn't have played upgrades there. All you had to do, you had one character left on their side of the board. You just need to roll out Mace.
Yeah, so you can remove that die, get that 2 damage. Yeah,
it just roll out Mace. So it's really but then you come there again. New players, new cards. These are still fairly new cards. Knowing the abilities, having the abilities ingrained in your mind is not a widespread thing yet. People are still learning playing.
Oh yeah, there'll still be some for months. I mean, Rainbow Nines didn't come up until what, two almost 3 months into.
Yeah, how long was the set out before Rainbow Nines took over the meta?
Yeah.
Now, that's another thing I love. What are we going to see in 2 or 3 months?
Oh yes.
What kind of janky character combination nobody thought of is going to show up and win regionals here in a month? A month or 2 whenever regionals kick off.
I see he's building up a lot of resources there.
Yeah,
I wonder what he's waiting on. It must be Master of the Council.
And he might be trying to do a double whammy, be able to play Master of the Council and still have resources up for My Allies the Force type deal. So, I don't know, though. I still think he just kind of dropped that. Play it as soon as you can, one thing. The every round longer a die is in your die pool is better. So
yes.
Now, Chris is getting pretty set up on his side, though, with that next running interference and that infamous out there.
Yes.
And there comes another ambush weapon. We're about to see eSabine shenanigans.
Yeah, no, I didn't see. Did he tap a running interference while playing that?
I believe he did.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
that second
yeah, this
running
is definitely going to
interference
protect. Protect. There it goes. Now
Yep.
protect Sabine as she rolls out, and this could really hurt.
Well, luckily Desmond has dice in the pool, so he won't be able to play a card or activate, but he can reroll.
And
Or take another resource for God knows what. There's a lot of resources. He has 6 resources he's already got built up over there.
So.
And Sabine, fully loaded, man. That's scary.
Yeah, he can. He can really use that Sabine. Now that was one of the opportunities. Had he had DL4 in there, would have been to cycle that one
loop
through.
it, remove his dice.
Yeah, and that really hurts Mace in this because Mace is the finisher here.
Yeah.
So what kind of decks have you been messing around with, Rob?
I've really been trying to tweak Kylo 9s right now.
Kylo 9s. We're talking Kylo 2?
Yeah, 2-player Kylo. I really wanted to play 9s if and when they put out an errata on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never really played them before, so that's the deck I'm kind of playing with right now. Also, here yesterday or day before, kind of started tinkering around with Poe Maz again, post Empire at War. As far as competitive decks, pet decks, of course, as everybody in the don't judge me, Justin. As everybody in the Houston community knows, Justin's Snap Solo is also a pet deck of mine. We really love to tinker around with that. So, been doing a little bit of tinkering with that post Empire at War too. And actually, that Snap Solo, Justin played it in a tournament here a few weeks back, and I was playing that Kylo 9s, and it came down to one roll. Snap Solo almost did it. I had a rocket launcher in my hand to play, and I had to hit the three or four damage side to win, and I hit the 3 side. If I didn't, Justin wins his next action. So it was kind of awesome to see that Snap Solo is doing that against a tier 1 deck like Kylo 9. So.
Now, I will say, I really like what I see on Chris's side of the board right
there's
here.
that 4-for-1 on Mace.
Yeah, that 4-for-1 is huge, but there's double disrupt sitting on Chris's side with an Ezra special, so he really could knock out some of those resources.
And those are
Those
both
are the
the
disrupts.
3-for-1s, right?
The 3-for-1s. Now, he would need an extra resource to do that, and I think he's out of cards for reroll now. Well, there might be one over there, but there's definitely... that's definitely really working in his favor right now. Like I said, that disrupt side, I just feel is so underrated. I've lost a few matches only because I don't think about it, and I end up doing something else like resolving damage because I'm afraid of mitigation. But I forget to use that 2 disrupt. I like playing Han Ray, and that Han 2 disrupt, which you guys know in Han Snap is huge. Now mine operates a little bit differently because I like to disrupt before they can play anything. So,
and now we're staring at a over half dead Mace.
Yeah, and it looks like there was enough damage there to take out Sabine.
Sabine's gone, so
yeah.
Desmond chances now are much better than they were one action ago, but. Now, we did see in the box tournament here at Ettin 2 weeks ago or last week. I think it was last week. At the box tournament, Trey actually took eEzra for the win.
Really? All the way through?
Matt took down Sabine, and Trey was able to finish it out with eEzra.
With eEzra,
yeah.
Well, with the amount of resources you can help yourself out with eEzra, and if you were playing, I imagine he was playing Starship Graveyard?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Because you can loot those second chances on eEzra, and his die ends up not being as bad as everyone said. Yeah, he's really not. Because of that 2 modifier. Now, had it been anything else, I'm not too sure I would have liked it as much, but that 2 modifier really helps him out.
And having that having that those two running interference over there plays a big part in it.
Yes.
You can really protect eEzra that way, not letting your opponents resolve dice. For instance, if that's the board state Desmond has, and he has his mace die out there, you're running interference resolving dice. You're stringing along eEzra that way. You're protecting him that way as well. It almost counts as removal, as mitigation. So
now, an interesting thing here that set up is Chris. We didn't talk about this. He does have both running interferences out there. So because of ambush, he could play this really slowly in just loop, because he could play he can override. He has the two resources. He could play an ambush weapon down, or override if he needed to. Then roll out eEzra, and then do the other running interference. And if he had his thermal paint on there, he could really
be pinging away. Yeah,
be pinging away, because Infamous is out on the board. This is the setup for eSabine loop. Now, it would be a very, very slow and painful process.
One damage,
I'm not sure if we'd last the full 20 minutes to see it. But if he pulls thermal paint, it is something that is possible for him to do here.
So there we go with the other DL44.
So there he goes right here.
And running interference on it.
And what I would possibly consider doing would be rolling out eEzra right here, and trying to pull that running interference, and to cause Desmond to claim, have Chris pass, ends the round, dump my hand, and just pull for the thermal paints.
Yeah.
Because right now, I'm not sure Ezra's going to have enough firepower to take out Mace.
Not at 7 health.
No.
Two Mace dies and he's dead.
Well, and he also has a scavenge in his hand, so he could certainly pull out. He could have done the loop. Actually, I think he still can. So if he were to play scavenge, see if that thermal paint pops up, play the thermal paint with Infamous, then activate eEzra, he could cause the loop.
Now, and this, like we were talking earlier, I think the eSabine eEzra build is about as close to a viable mid-range deck as Star Wars Destiny has right now. Because of that loop, you can push stuff off and a little bit one damage. A lot of people were going for the fast hands on eSabine and just fast handing a die claiming, and just slowly 2 damage at a time, 1 damage at a time, wearing down your opponent. So I think this is about as close to mid-range as you're going to find in Destiny right now. And the shocking thing about it, Josh, is it's hero.
Yes, it is hero. Well, one of the things I think that's going to come about soon for mid-range is we're going to see a lot more 3 characters coming out.
Right.
Once this, there's a second chance in his hand. That's going to be pretty big right here.
Yeah,
yes,
that's going to be real big.
So, and I also think I see a don't get cocky. So I think he was actually playing the loop in there. I think that's the purpose of his deck, having both scavenge, don't get cocky in there. This does look like a Sabine loop. But where was I going? Yeah, the 3 characters, I think we're going to start seeing more of that soon once that FN errata drops.
Right.
So, and
when
I'm actually...
it drops.
When it drops, yes. I'm excited to see that because it will hopefully slow down some... Well, there's a good roll for...
Oh, man, that is...
Yeah, if we... it looks like all modifiers,
if you can get a base side on that
if
that
there
blaster.
was... if only heroes had bait and switch, huh?
Right.
So that would be a dead Maz out there.
Yeah, it's when we say when the errata drops. I think
when it drops,
it's kind of funny. Every morning you wake up and you look at Facebook and see all these Destiny forums. All the anti-FN players are, their first post is, "Has the errata come out yet? Has the errata come out yet?" And
well, I'm guilty.
FFG has been very meticulous in its errata for FN, I guess. At least we hope. because it's still not here. We've been waiting for it for several weeks now.
Well, and I think FN would have been okay, but with each new set that comes out, there's someone better that he can be
when you
tagged
put a
with.
support with him.
Yeah,
when you put a support character with him, like Night Sister,
or when you put Kylo 2 with him.
or when you put Kylo 2 with him, or even Awakenings. You know, when you can pair Unkar and get 6 resources to.
Oh, good call on that, Justin. We forgot about the running interferences right there. That he actually can't play a card. There were so many actions done there. Yeah, he wasn't able to play a card that round. So, yeah. But that is a miss.
Hey, Blood on Fire! Glad you're with us, man. Didn't see you.
Good catch there.
Are you boycotting us, Blonde on Fire, because Justin's not here today? That's not very nice. You usually talk to us more than that.
There's that 4 damage out there, but he does have 3 resources. It looks like he's going to override.
Yep. You know what that card does, Desmond. I'm guilty of doing that too. Like, can I see that for a second? That's basically me going, oh my god, I can't believe you just played that card on me. I'm just stalling so I can get my mind right again. Yep, so there's that Maz Focus 4 for 1.
Yes.
Oh, and there's and then 4 more. So yeah, that's dead Ezra next action.
Well, there's that second.
Second chance. Yeah, the second chance.
But here's where that Starship Graveyard would have come in handy, because he could have delayed it for 1 more turn.
Yeah.
Getting that out there.
And see, I'm almost there. I don't know if I think I just focused to the 2 there on Mace instead of having to spend another resource to set off second chance.
Yeah. Well, he is playing another Scavenge there. I wonder if he can pull that's actually not bad, because that does save him.
Action, yeah.
Well, once second chance is popped, he can play that Scavenge now, pull back second chance, and that does keep him going for at least another.
Yeah, but if I'm Desmond there, when he uses Maz Focus, he focused to a 4 for 1. He's basically dealing 2 extra damage, doesn't have to, and having to spend a resource to do it.
So.
Oh yeah, just brought up a good point with
Mace
the
action.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
He could have done that as well, rather than using the
right.
Yeah.
So I still, Desmond's still way ahead here.
Yep, there goes the Scavenge. Here comes up second chance again. And that does keep him alive for, see, what is that? 7 total damage. That does keep him alive. Maybe, for sure, for 1 more hit, another turn. But I'd be interested to see. It's been really tough for him to put out damage, especially having only the DL44 to get out damage.
Even if he keeps bringing back second chance, having to do that with second chance, he's basically not doing any damage to Desmond.
He pulled out the sniper anyway, rather than the second chance. So I think he's really going to try and go for that kill
lock,
next round. Yeah, or for the lock. He could see the thermal paints come up.
Yeah, but I think he almost has to, because if you keep bringing back second chance, you're still.
Well, the inevitable is going to happen.
Delaying.
Yeah,
because you're not going to be killing Mace or Maz. You're just going to be you're going to be backpedaling in defensive mode the whole time. So, I kind of like that by Chris, just seeing that and saying I have to go all in, or I lose later instead of now.
Yes.
So it looks like Chris is still just trying to figure out how he wants to go about it.
Yeah.
And also, and talking about this running interference loop, we had a pretty big conversation after that box tournament last week. After looking through everything, we've been talking. The lockdown is not as airtight as a lot of people think it is.
Not with the action cards out there.
Yeah, with the action cards out there, even like perfect example is Meditate. even if you do not have dice in the pool,
Yes.
or there is no blank to remove, you can still use Meditate's action to break the loop.
Oh yeah, and things like an empty backup muscle, Cad Bane.
Yeah,
they're just
the action might fizzle.
Yes.
You know, you might not see a result from it, but you're still taking an action, changing the game state, and breaking the loop. So, however, I do think played right, that running interference can still effectively lock your opponent down.
Well, I do think
well
it was
to
one
beat.
of the cards that Hero needed. I think Hero Yellow got a lot better just because of that single card, because in a lot of cases you can use it to your advantage to either protect your dice, protect someone from resolving dice, re-rolling any of that. It can really put you ahead a turn by preventing someone else, preventing your opponent from doing their action.
Right.
It's an incredible card, and I think it's why we see Rend so popular right now, just because running interference can really frustrate what you're trying to do. And I see a second Infamous there, and a Thermal Paint, and maybe another second Chance right there.
That would, if that's what he has in his hand, Chris just got a real big boost.
If I were Chris, I would start there is a Mace action. Now, there's one of the debates that's come up. Mace action. Now, he can't do the loop at this point, but we're talking about changing the board state.
The game state, yeah. Now for Mace's action, you have to have die in the pool.
Because we're not changing the game state otherwise.
You can't just say I'm using Mace's action if he's not been activated and has no dice in the pool. Well, I don't know, though.
It's one of the things that I think needs to be answered with the rules reference, because
FAQ,
technically you are using an action card, and you could play cards other than the spot to play.
Right.
Spot to play, should we say. Not a spot a character, but spot to play. And you can't do those, but all the other ones you can do without doing any of the actions. So
Right.
I'm interested to see.
I think I just changed. I think with Mace, I think you can just say I'm going to take Mace's action. Now, you don't have any die to remove. You may not have a character defeat, but you're taking Mace's action. You're using your action for that turn. So I think that falls into it as well.
Yeah, I'm not counting Chris completely. Well, no, there's the Mace action. Now, whether Desmond knows to use that action or not,
that's the question.
Could work in Chris's advantage, given there's so many. We're so unsure about how for sure that works yet. I feel confident that's how it works.
Yeah.
However, that reference guide is going to be pretty helpful.
Yeah, and Chris kind of has to be careful here. He's run through a lot of cards in his deck already.
Yes. Another reason why I really do like Starship Graveyard.
You can't see the exact number there, but it looks like he has maybe one or two cards left in his deck.
Yes,
so.
And here comes out Second Chance, so he will survive this round.
See if he pays his resource for overriding. So.
Well, I suppose, what is that? 2...
Yeah, that's the 2 melee on Maze.
That's the 2 melee. So yeah, eEzra does survive one more round. I'm still not sure if there can be enough damage to win this, but we'll see. We could go to time, and it could come down to damage dealt. It would be nice if he were to take out Maz this turn and get rid of that focus.
Maz, it looks like Maz is just 1 damage away. I believe that's a 5, or no, that's a 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So Maz is 3 away. She could still go down this turn. Don't know. I don't know. I think Desmond pretty much takes this game.
Yeah, we'll see if Chris gets a god roll here.
It takes some pretty big
and
whiffs.
That's a 1 and a 3, and then
the +2 off the
+2. Yeah. So, but he has to be careful because he can't discard too many cards from this point on, because it looks like he's empty over there.
Oh, there's another 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and a focus on Maz. So if he
so.
doesn't have any removal, that's it.
Yeah, could possibly work out that way.
Well, now if he takes Maz out right now, Desmond either has to do 2, go to the next round, or he has to reroll.
Well, and I think that's the right choice anyway, because at this point, what Chris needs to do is getting into that final round, get enough damage out there, and hope that Mace can't get the dice out there that he needs.
Well, the thing is though, is all Mace has to do is roll in. He doesn't have to hit damage sides. If he does the 2, that puts Ezra at 6.
Well, we have a second chance out there.
Oh, second chance.
Yeah, we have a second chance. That's why I think... Oh, wait, we got to go. Good call from Justin. There is actual no holdout out there. So he has a 2+ out there that isn't...
yeah, we can go tell him
isn't
real
actually
quick
there,
about
yeah.
that. Yeah, so we'll get that taken care of. Good catch, Justin. All right, guys, we got that holdout guy. That was a good catch, Justin.
Good catch, Justin, of course.
And that could have made a big difference.
Yes, it certainly would have. I still, of course, Maz is going down here.
Yeah.
And that Force Illusion right there probably seals it because it's going to be too difficult to get the extra amount of damage on Mace now, especially with shields on the board too. So certainly interesting to see from Chris. I was really hoping to see a Sabine loop come out there. But he didn't get his thermals till really late, and Sabine went down so quick. I mean, Mace is just such a heavy hitter with those 4-for-1s. It's definitely tough for...
So he's going to put 3 on Maz? Yeah.
Yeah, and take care of Maz there. But it's still...
I don't know. I think we go to time.
Yeah, I think we could go to time as well, because we still have one more second chance hit here, and we're relying on Mace dies from here. So, and Chris does have a lot of resources to play another...
I'm kind of curious where all the upgrades are for Desmond. All those resources he had stacked up, this is the first upgrade we see come down, and it's a Force Illusion.
Yeah, Desmond hasn't been cycling through his cards. He does have the Shoto lightsabers in there.
I think he needs to drop some upgrades to finish this off.
To really get some hits. Yeah, the extra dies in there, even if they're low damage. I mean, the Shoto's only got that one. Doesn't have anything greater than a 1 on it, other than the modifier, but it can... Oh, well, I see an Ancient Lightsaber in there, too. So there certainly is... he can put something out there, but Ezra just has such little health.
Yeah.
That it can...
Well, and what I'm going for is he needs to throw down an upgrade, roll out, and roll well with at least his upgrade die and his mace die.
Mm-hmm.
Remove 1 mace die to set off second chance, and then have enough damage to... and then deal 5 to finish it off. So...
Yeah. So, it's... Yeah. And there it goes. There comes out the vibro.
And the ambush action is going to help quite a bit, too.
Let's see what he puts out there. Definitely an interesting game. I'm surprised to see 2 pretty heavy hitters like this go for so long.
Yeah. I mean, Mace, Christian Mace, yeah, he was doing work, but I don't think he needed upgrades. Desmond really needed to have upgrades down to finish his game out earlier. And like you said, he really wasn't cycling through his hand, I guess. He without discarding at the end of the round, he wasn't drawing 5 new cards trying to dig for those upgrades. So
yeah, another thing that would have been huge here, again, I know I must have a love affair with this card, but keeping going back to it, Starship Graveyard, if anything, cycling the DL44s here.
Yeah.
Mace doesn't like a DL44. Any of those big heavy hitters.
No, if he gets if he gets a DL44 cycle and he's having to remove die, I think it totally changes the game, especially if it's a round or two ago.
And here's another thing that's actually interesting. One more cheat. I thought he was done with all the cards in his deck.
So another second chance. Getting back second chance.
Yes.
Now with a minute 45 left, if I'm Desmond, I don't think I resolve my die. I think I just claim. If you set off second chance, it removes damage, and we go to round timer, and that's more damage he could have had counting for him. So
well, he's going with the DL44. Looks like he's going for removal here rather than the second chance. But yeah, you're right. There is a minute 20 left. This is probably going to be the last round here.
Oh, and he played that new card that lets you move a damage or deal.
That looks like a riposte.
Yeah, riposte. Yeah,
so
he threw a shield at him.
Yeah, and this is game right here.
So that's 3, 4, 5. Yep, and then he's gonna remove his shield.
Not with the DL44
in his hand. Yeah.
So there still is. Just doesn't know how to roll force. Yeah. There. I think mathematically he's not out of it because we'd have to see. I can't see. The max he could do would be, because the Force Illusion's going to take a 3 for sure. Then there's a shield, so we're looking at a max of doing 3, 3, and then a 1 because that modifier is going to go on a 3 no matter what.
Yeah.
So it'd be best to roll a 1 on that. We're looking at a maximum.
Now it looks like he forgot to have his opponent remove a die.
Yeah. Okay. He goes there, taking out the vibro.
Or as my daughter loves when I call it, the vibro kniffy.
And it looks like they've gone to time here. Yeah.
And now our timer is just off just a little bit from the actual round timer, but it's not going to be a lot if they have any time left. So. And then we're going to damage. So Sabine's what?
Sabine was 11.
11, and then 2 more.
And then there was 8 on Maz. So this is interesting seeing this go to time. I really didn't think this was going to. I thought this was going to be over once Sabine went down.
If Chris rolls like a god here, he may not kill Mace, but he can do enough damage to where he'll have more damage done than Mace.
There goes that heavy. Look at all damage over there. Now he's going to have to mathematically figure out how that's going to work, given the amount of modifiers. But that was that was something else. You would have preferred, like I said, having the 3s and the 1s out there because those modifiers are going to get absorbed. But he'll have to split them in a certain way. But it's going to be, honestly, I think we counted out Chris too early. This was a lot closer than...
Yeah, I think Desmond still takes it because he would have to get 7 damage through on Mace to tie the amount of damage done. So
and with the shield there and the Force Illusion and the modifiers there. But had this gone on another round, he had the Infamous, he had the running interference. He certainly could have done a lot with that because this Mace is going to get hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Now, it might be good for him to count how many cards are left in Desmond's deck, because he could try and mill him out. Now, we were talking earlier, Desmond probably hasn't been cycling, but this would be one of those good points to try and cycle someone or to mill him out.
Yeah.
Then again, I just don't think Desmond has...
Desmond's just going for the kill here, trying to get that 4 for 1.
But there still is a Lothcat in his hand, so Desmond's not going to kill him this turn.
Yeah, but even then, he Lothcats. That still helps Desmond out even more. So.
Though I am interested to see how many cards are left, because Desmond's going to keep rolling to get that 4. So he won't have a hand, he won't have any cards.
And he's re-rolling. Trying to get those base damage sides, maybe?
Well, I think...
he just rolled away a lot of damage.
Well, like we were saying earlier, I think he has to have the base damage sides on eEzra. He can't have modifiers in order to have a chance on this. So, because Desmond's going to have to use that Force Illusion on a 3.
Yeah.
Rather than what would have been a 5. So... Oh,
So he's not going to let him
actually, he's not
re-roll.
doing it that way. Yeah. So
Oh, there's that base 3 on the other holdout. So he's a little closer. And now Desmond can't re-roll, so he just has to resolve that.
Now I know Villain has a really good card here that does the unblockable.
Yeah, resolve
damage.
all your range damage is unblockable.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it is. I believe Bosk is on it at this point, but I know there's one where you can resolve and treat it as unblockable. So, but of course, we're talking about heroes here. If he dealt 7 and not enough cards, Desmond would. Yeah, that's what I need to see. What would be how many cards would be left? So I'm honestly not sure. It would be a good time to count because Desmond still has a card in his hand, so he can't do anything there.
Oh, there's
But
closer.
well, here's the thing. He's gotten rid of everything in his hand though.
Yeah.
When this round ends, he mills himself out.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's still got the one card in his deck here.
Okay, gotcha.
Unless is that his battle? No, that's his Sabine.
Yeah, it's
his Sabine.
Yeah,
I thought.
so
he's milled.
So he's milled himself out here. So even if he were to do enough damage to bring Mace all the way down, he does lose because at the end of the round he won't be able to kill. Well, let's see. Yeah.
Well.
He did all of it.
Well, it looks like Desmond's blocking all of it. Not sure that's how Force Illusion works, buddy. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's not how Force Illusion works.
Yeah, it's not. He needed to resolve individually.
Yeah. Well, even when you resolve it together, it's still counted. You don't have to resolve it separate.
Well, you have to resolve each die by themselves. Now, if those were all modifiers, that's how it works.
Yeah. But even if you don't go, okay, I'm going to resolve range, do this. When you resolve all your range together, the base modifiers are still resolved separately.
Yeah,
even if you're not physically doing it.
So that's why I was thinking he needed to have instead of having modifiers, he needed to have all base damage. So the most that was taken from him was 1 from the shield and then 3 from Force Illusion. But it is time. I'm not sure if anyone has informed them.
And their timer out there may be just off from ours just a minute or two. So
yeah, so
it's not that big of a
but
deal.
at this point anyway, he is milled. So that is
that's the game. Yeah, either way. It looks like they're probably telling them right now time's up.
Yeah. But definitely, like you were saying with what Trey did in the box tournament, you had eEzra that
was
just
petering along there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wouldn't die. Yeah, how many second chances were there? 3 second chances with the cheats that he had.
Yep.
Maybe 4 that were played, but he did not die there. That was definitely. That was definitely interesting. I think we counted him out way too soon.
Yeah,
there.
It kind of shocks me a little bit how long that eEzra can string him by. And we've been talking about that lately also, is Ezra's not as bad as everybody thought he was going to be.
Personally, I don't like him because I play him horribly, but I think his dies weren't as bad as everyone said.
And I think Ezra's probably the best support character you can put with Sabine. Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna go answer a question out there.
We're gonna that's round, guys. So we're gonna take a little break until the next round comes out. Desmond's won this game, so we'll go figure out their question, and we'll be back here. We'll say 4:25, guys. So we'll see y'all then.